Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Hannah and welcome to my studio, or welcome back again. This is my 8th video, so that's exciting, and this is just gonna be organized chaos. This is a true insight into how I paint. So I do little sketches beforehand, I do little thumbnails, get the general idea, the gist of it, if you will, and then I just do a full send. I really do. I do just kind of go for it. So I started with a pinkish background, which I despised. I don't know why I did that to myself, but here we are. And I start laying down the guidelines, getting my darkest darks, which are just the tree lines, basically the bunches of trees and the intense shadow that comes with it. And I just start filling it in and color blocking. And in the background, you can see me watching Outer Banks. I have no idea what season I'm on. Isn't there like 3 of them? I think I'm on the 2nd season. I've watched it before. I don't know why I'm acting like I haven't seen all of them. I have no idea what season I'm on though. It's not important. No one asked. Okay. So, I have the basic shapes in, and for this picture that I'm referencing, which you won't see the picture. I don't think you will. Basically, there's just a really intense foreground, which is that little trail, the first part of the trail. Then you're going to have a middle ground, and there is a very faint background. As I'm painting this, I had made the foreground and the middle ground too similar. And you'll see how that's where the title of Organized Chaos comes into remission. That's not the right word. It comes forth. That doesn't sound right either. It doesn't matter. Okay, so basically between the brush strokes being the same, using the same size paintbrush, which is generally okay, and using the same color tones, I had washed out the middle ground. So this is me just kind of chopping in the colors, getting the basic shapes. I'm just bracing you for the I guess just the slight mistake that I did fix. So it's not a permanent mistake. But it was slightly infuriating because I don't even know how long I was painting at this point. I had sat down, maybe I was standing up, who could tell? And I didn't take any breaks. And so once you get to a certain point and you don't take a break or you don't take a step back, eventually when you do take the step back, you realize that everything is looking the same. Everything's a little too choppy. Things aren't blending out right. That sort of, it's just, you'll see. I'm not explaining this very well, very spastically. So I'm just going to kind of bob and weave out of this thing, per usual. And yeah, the odds are I will jump in, because I always have a lot to say. So yeah, and because I painted those mountains 3 times? So this is the 2nd time going in. The third time was a charm for sure. It just needed a little bit more character. It was a little too drab for me, so I went in and fancied it up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. And here's me starting to make the middle ground a little bit darker, because I took a break. Forced myself to take a break, and I started reading the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. It's a little book. They made a Netflix movie about it. The book is great. Totally recommend. It's a short little book. It's a wonderful read, and I just really enjoyed it. And I'm gonna probably buy the hardcover because I don't know why I enjoyed it so much. It was just such a delightful book. But you didn't come here to hear about me reading. So, this is my take on water. That was my take on water. I don't enjoy painting water. I am too choppy and I don't layer right. I add too many colors and it just looks chaotic. So I'm learning. I'm getting there. I can nail little pieces of water, but a whole ocean, I'm just not there yet. That's a little too much. I'll get there. I'm more of a forest lady, I think. I like the greenery, the trees, the discoloration of everything. That's kind of sweet spot right now. And I go in with a third coat on this guy. So I like it when the green or whatever color is kind of falling upon the sky start to mend, because it makes it hazy. It makes it look like it's in the distance. I really like it. And I keep this texture. I don't get rid of this texture. I like the texture of my paintbrush because it's a painting. And here you can really see the chaos. This is when I had to take a real good step back. I think I left it at this overnight, and I came back in the morning and I was like, okay, I know what to do. I can fix this. So, I basically just darkened the middle ground. I went in, I changed the brush strokes in the foreground. So now they're sweeping down towards the trail, which draws your eyes towards the trail, right? But I also brightened it. I used colors that I didn't use in the foreground and in the background. They don't really mimic each other. I like that really, really kind of mossy green right there. Yeah, and I think that really just made the painting. I really enjoy adding the highlights and making things brighter, because I always start off so dark. So by the time I add the highlights, I'm having a great time. Usually have the TV on. It's very brainless work, which is why I don't have the audio on when I'm editing this and I do the voiceovers, because I don't even know what I'm watching at this point. I think I was watching The Bear, the new season of The Bear, and that's just a lot of yelling. I don't think that would be pleasant to listen to through headphones or whatever you're doing. So, but I was really satisfied with how this turned out. I went back in, like I said, to the middle ground. That is the background right there. I lightened the background, kept the middle ground dark, lightened the foreground. So you have transitions, you know where you're standing, and it's just appealing to look at, you know? It doesn't take a lot of effort to look at, but if you wanted to, you can look up at the texture, you see the movement of everything. And Bob's your uncle. I don't know why that saying came about, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. And then this is just a third cut of the sky that I mentioned. You can see I did change the mountains. That's how I'm leaving those mountains. They're a little bit more characteristic now. They got a little more oomph to them. And they're a little bit hazier, which makes them look like they are in the distance. Because if I use a more saturated color, they would look closer. But because I use lighter colors, farther it is. And then I do end up just getting rid of that part of the trail. Yeah. So this is part of the John Muir PCT trail. They intertwine at this part, so I don't know where we were at this section. But it was very much a beautiful little hike when you start getting to the higher altitude. So this is the finished product. It's a fairly large painting, but I completed it, I would say, like maybe 8 hours. Yeah, and that's the messy palette, and that's the end. I think it's so cool you watched my video. So thanks, tell a friend, have a good one, and bye!